Good evening, Honorable Governor of Arunachal Pradesh, Lieutenant General Kaivalya Trivikram Pannaik ji, the chief guest of today's program, revered Swami Vedasarananda ji Maharaj, Secretary Ramakrishna Mission, Itanagar, Shyam Parende ji, General Secretary and Global Coordinator, Sewa International, Professor Anil Kaulji, Vice Chancellor, Indian Institute of Public Health, Hyderabad, and Director of Dr. Siras Poonawalla, Center for Infectious Disease, Vijay Swamiji, Executive Director, Rewatch, Jinesh Lalji, Executive Director of Sewa International, hosts of dignitaries. With us this evening, I'm very pleased to have our former Chief Secretary, Aapko Namaskar, and all the dignitaries, learned people. And very fortunately, we have got Dr. Joram Begiji, the man behind so many activities which is taking place in Arunachal Pradesh, especially with regards to the preservation of knowledge, Gurukul system, and many others. We are also very happy to have here our dynamic secretary, Mr. Liguji, and his director. They are a staunch Sanatani, and it's a very privileged moment for all of us to have our Sri Mama Natungji, the Honorable Minister of DR, a staunch Donjipollo follower and a staunch Sanatani, and not to talk about our Honorable Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister here. I'm really very pleased, and all ladies and gentlemen and the media friends. It's a great honor for me to be invited here to give a few insight into the problems which are happening in Arunachal Pradesh with regards to the people of Indigenous, जनजाति जो का स्वधर्म है, जो संस्कृति है, उसमें कैसी इरोजन हो रहे हैं, इसके ऊपर में शायद मुझे इसके चलते मुझे यहाँ पे इनवाइट करे गए हैं. आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल, एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ the family of IFCSAP, Indigenous Faith and Cultural Society, and the believers of the indigenous faith across the state, I take this opportunity to thank the organizers here. HIMSamwaad 2025 here at Itanagar is to focus on SDG 3 and SDG 6, a very relevant topic when we talk about SDG 3 is health and the well-being, and definitely the water and the sanitation under SDG 6. And it's a very relevant for the indigenous people. That is the most important thing. You all know we live with the nature. Forest and its nature and its living being in the forest, they are a part and parcel of us. We symbiotically live with them. We depend on them, and they also depend on us. That is what Arunachal was before the advent of so many inroad by the foreign religions. This is also true for the state and the people also. When there is a massive development, infrastructure development also. Time and again, in spite of our repeated requests and our objections to many things, especially when there is a development, we also have to take care of the environment, which is not happening. Today, I would like to focus on few points कुछ बिंदु पे मैं रखना चाहूँगा और मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है सर्विस पे, और उस एक्सपीरियंस में जो सबसे बड़ा जो हुआ इस एंटायर वर्ल्ड में, वो है द पेंडेमिक, द कोविड. The COVID had given us lots of pain, lots of ideas, made us lots to innovate also. And panic, the most important was, this COVID has given an insight into where we stand that very moment and where we are standing today. When we went through our health infrastructures, we found that we were lacking in many, many aspects. We didn't have a proper emergency room, no emergency setup, we didn't have oxygen, we didn't have ICU, no proper operation theater. I think this COVID was if I'm not mistaken, it was a blessing in disguise for humanity and especially for Arunachal Pradesh. Because Arunachal Pradesh in the health sector, where we were standing, but today after COVID, we are much ahead of many of our other northeastern states also. That is one experience I have seen. And the attitude of the people and the psyche of the people have also massively changed with this, I think, with this epidemic. But then, the other side was, where do we stand in the hygienic part of our social upbringing and social living? That was an issue. And when we think about hygiene, we always think about the water. The provision of water, the proper sanitation. Water is available, but is it palatable? It's a great concern. And when in our lifetime, in our earlier days, when we were all indigenous people living in the villages, of course we had a less number of population. But then, in the village, we had a rule to protect our sources of origin of water. That is the most important thing. And today also in the villages, we say, wherever our sources of the water is there, it is always protected. Even the animals are not allowed to go there also. That is the way of life for the indigenous people of Arunachal Pradesh. But it's not happening now. I think we have not been able to communicate with the next generation, which we got from our forefathers, for our fathers and grandparents. We have not been able to communicate it because of our engagement, because of our stay in the urban areas, or we have forgotten our villages. Maybe it was that. Now time has come when we have to move back to our villages and ensure that the sources of water are protected. Thereby we get a clean and palatable water. And that should be the beginning of our policies and programs when we think about HIMSamwaad here in Itanagar today. This must be a part of the policy. Secondly, many of you are not aware what is Indigenous Faith and Cultural Society. We are now 26 years of age now. The Indigenous Faith and Cultural Society was constituted way back in 1999 in 28th of December. Recently, during last year, we celebrated, and I'm very happy to inform you that our Honorable Governor was the chief guest. He inaugurated our Silver Jubilee celebration of IFCSAP on that very ground of Indira Gandhi Park here in Itanagar. The theme was also very crystal clear. How to protect our origin, our thinking, our cultures, our tradition, and most importantly, our faith. Faith and culture, they are two inseparable parts of a coin. But I'm very unfortunate, I'm very sad to tell you that there are many organizations, many people, many religious followers who want to separate between culture and faith. In Arunachal Pradesh, no culture can survive without a faith, and no faith can survive without culture. And this must be a complete essence of our thinking in our life. So IFCSAP was constituted long time back in 1999. So main objective of IFCSAP is to prevent, to protect our faith and belief and prevent other religious followers to convert us. That's the most important thing. But then, as you all know, that our religion is in a very unorganized manner. Now we are going forward to a better organized mechanism of prayer system and Donipoloism, as I belong to. Now we are establishing prayer centers where we are trying to build up the systematic prayer system, which our forefathers used to do that. And we are also trying to develop the hymns, the indigenous rituals, all those things which have been kept under darkness, and we are trying to bring it up. So prayer centers can develop unity among ourselves. This is one issue. Prayer centers can develop the essence of religious feelings amongst the people of Arunachal Pradesh. But secondly, the area we are touching upon is the education. Okay. Education in a Gurukul system of education which we are trying to develop now, and we are very happy to have the support of the Vivekananda Kendra and the Sewa International and many other donors who are coming forward, and we are having 5 Gurukuls now in Arunachal Pradesh. 5 Gurukuls. It's been run by the Donipolo Cultural and Charitable Trust. And for your information, now the government of Arunachal Pradesh has taken a decision that the Gurukul system of education in Arunachal Pradesh will be owned by the Department of Indigenous Affairs. And this Donipolo Charitable Trust Gurukul system is for 5 tribes of Arunachal Pradesh: Adi, Apatani, Galo, Nishi, and Tagin, and which will be including the Missings of Assam. We believe in Donipolo. And it is also true for other tribes like Idu Mishmis, Idus, Sartang, Thangsas, Nokte, Vancho. We will be having that. So this is the area where I would like to request the luminaries here, so that when we talk about HIMSamwaad, with special focus to the health and hygiene and water and sanitation, the education system in our Gurukul system, because here we are teaching our boys and our students to be with the nature. But we are also giving them the modern education. The modern education under CBSE is also being taught. And at the same time, we are giving them the indigenous faith and belief, the system of knowledge which we have been getting from time immemorial from our ancestors. So it's really, I would like to thank, as I said, the VKV, then Sewa International, and other donors who are coming forward. Now I would like to request even the diaspora of Indian diaspora across the country, beyond the country, they can come up and give us support for Gurukul system of education in Arunachal Pradesh. Lastly, as you all know, the sanitary year of Sangh is on the way. Today we had a Abhiyan there. There they were talking about 5 panchas, Parivar Prabodhan, Samajik Samrasta, Paryavaran was one of them, Swadeshi and Nagrik Kartabya. There in Paryavaran, we were told about 3 P's. P's regarding pear, we have to plant trees, pani, water, conservation in etc., then polythene-free world, and here I would like to add another P. We have to practice our indigenous faith and culture, practice how to preserve and protect our nature, how to preserve and protect the sources of water for proper water and sanitation, and also to practice proper healthcare delivery system in the state. With these few words, thank you very much.